You know that favorite t-shirt you have, the one that's just perfectly soft, or that sweatshirt that's your go-to for a cozy day? Well, what if I told you that feeling isn't an accident? It's not magic, it's actually a recipe, a secret set of instructions. And today, we're gonna dive in and crack the code behind the clothes we wear every day.
Okay, so when you first look at this, yeah, it looks complicated, right? It's basically a wall of numbers and codes. And you're probably thinking, this is for an engineer, not me. And look, you're not wrong, it's definitely technical stuff.
But what if we look at it a different way? What if this isn't some boring spreadsheet, but actually a recipe book? Seriously, think of each row as a completely different recipe for a unique fabric, spelling out the exact ingredients and the steps to get that perfect result.
So, here's how we're gonna break it all down. First, we'll tackle fabric weight. Then, we'll get into the story of the yarn and filament, the core ingredients. After that, we'll see how it all gets put together with the final stitch. And to wrap it up, we'll talk about why this whole recipe matters so much from the factory all the way to your closet. All right, let's jump into our first section. We're talking about decoding fabric weight. This is really the foundation of the whole recipe. It's the one thing that kind of sets the stage for how a piece of clothing is going to feel, how it hangs, and what it's good for.
So the key term you need to know here is GSM. That stands for grams per square meter. And it's actually super straightforward. It's literally just what a 1 meter by 1 meter square of that fabric weighs. That's it. So a higher GSM number, you guessed it, a heavier, thicker fabric.
Let's go back to our recipe book for a second. Take a look here. See fabric number 1 and number 10? They both have a GSM of 230. But then look at fabric number 5. It jumps way up to 370. Just that one number alone is our biggest clue about what these fabrics are meant to become.
So what does that actually mean in the real world? Well, a 230 GSM fabric, that's light. That's your classic summer t-shirt, nice and breathable. But that 370 GSM, oh, that's much heavier. We're talking about a cozy, thick sweatshirt you'd grab on a cold day. And that huge difference in how they feel, it all comes down to that one little number.
Okay, so we've got the foundation down, the weight. Now let's get into the core ingredients that actually create that weight. This is the yarn and filament story.
If you look at the top of the recipe, you'll see things like 100% cotton or maybe a 60-40 blend. This is basically our first big choice of ingredients. Are we going with pure cotton or are we mixing it with something else, like polyester? That one decision is going to change everything from how soft it is to how long it'll last.
All right, next up is something called yarn count. And, this one's a little weird. It's kind of counterintuitive. In this system, a lower number actually means a thicker yarn. So a yarn count of 22 is way chunkier than a yarn count of 34. The 34